between Newberry and Carson-Newman. We appreciate you tuning in. Tyler Katz with you through our 7-inning contest today. Both teams take the field, and it's a battle of Newberry's ace and Carson-Newman's number 2. Chanson Cole takes the hill for Newberry. He's been electric heading into yesterday's game. He led the nation in strikeouts with 29, now has slipped there after a couple pitchers pitched yesterday, but still among the nation's best in strikeouts and strikeouts per 9. So really, Chanson Cole is a guy to keep your eye on for Newberry, and how effective will he be at shutting down the Eagles' bats? Carson-Newman struggled against Ethan LeBron yesterday, who is Newberry's number 2, so we'll see how Chanson Cole can square up. The starting batting order for Carson-Newman: Ryan Jenkins, the shortstop, leads things off, followed by Spencer Williams, the right fielder. Logan Floyd, the first baseman, bats third. Julian Hines takes over in the designated hitter spot, batting cleanup. Aiden Gibson bats fifth as the third baseman, taking the spot usually occupied by Nick Castellana. Ryan Bolton remains in the game at left field. He bats sixth. Cole Nathan bats seventh at second base. Trey Miller moves up a spot from his typical 9-hole spot at center field. He bats eighth. And Frankie Delgado makes his first start of the year at catcher. He bats ninth. Nick Castellana getting a game off. We may see him about halfway through as a defensive substitution. Chanson Cole toes the rubber behind the plate. Catching for Newberry is White. In the outfield, Wages, Faircloth, and Plotkin from left to right. Free, Mims, Knuckles, and Gentry are in the infield from left to right for Newberry as well. Stepping in, Ryan Jenkins, the shortstop, set to lead this ball game off the first pitch. Comes inside for ball one. First pitch recorded at 4:50. A bit of a delayed start. This first pitch happening about 55 minutes after the conclusion of game one, as the second pitch of the at-bat in the zone for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Jenkins. Latest start of the year for Carson-Newman at 4:50. The lights are turned on at the Smith Road complex as the ball misses outside. It's 2-1. Carson-Newman and Newberry battle to a 14-6 decision in game one of today's doubleheader. Cole's delivery missing low, ball 3. Carson-Newman took a 6-0 lead in the second inning. Newberry chipped away to make it 7-6, but the Eagles decided enough was enough and put the Wolves away with a 7 spot in the top of the ninth. A foul ball goes off. It's strike 2, a full count to the leadoff batter, batting .290, Ryan Jenkins. It's Williams and Floyd also due up this inning for Carson-Newman. A ground ball hit over to third, picked up by Free. The throw on to first will be in time. And there's one gone. A 5-3 ground out to Ryan Jenkins will bring up Spencer Williams.
Now batting number 26, Spencer Williams.
Batting .297, was the Food City player of the game in game one. Went 3 for 5, 3 singles, 2 runs. Had a pair of RBI as well. First pitch swinging for strike 1. So an 0-1 count to Spencer Williams. Cole's delivery will find the zone for strike 2. So an 0-2 count to Spencer Williams, the right fielder, the lone lefty in the batting order for Carson-Newman. He was talking about, and he'll swing and miss for strike 3 on a foul tip into the glove. First strikeout of the day for Chanson Cole. He's at 30 of the season. He was talking in between the 2 games of the doubleheader about how it's a little difficult to read pitchers of how they pitch to lefties since he's the only one in the order. It brings up Logan Floyd with 2 gone. First pitch, check swing. Home plate umpire says he went around, and it's in there for a called strike 1. Waits on the second pitch of the at-bat. There's a called strike 2. So Chanson Cole, who has an incredible strikeout per 9, is immediately showing his stuff with a strikeout of Spencer Williams and back-to-back called strikes on Floyd. The 0-2 will miss high. It's ball one. The thinking behind putting Chanson Cole in the series finale in a 7-inning game is he could potentially pitch the complete game. A swing and a foul ball keeps the at-bat alive. Cole still does lead the nation in strikeouts with 29. Check swing on a pitch outside. Make that 30 now with the strikeout of Spencer Williams. It's a 2-2 count to Floyd. Next highest is Colby Dugan of Pittsburgh State. He has 28. 2-2, fouled off. And those rankings were made available prior to this weekend's series, allowing Cole to catch up in that statistic with his start before the rankings are officially updated with the Friday and possibly Thursday starters. The 2-2. Ground ball hit over towards third base. Free will pick it up, fire on to first, and it's 3 up, 3 down for the Eagles in the top of the first. Chanson Cole gets a strikeout to get him to 30 on the season. Bottom of the first coming up. Newberry comes to the dish when we come back here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Insurance, it's about people, not things. It's about security. It's about confidence. It's about relationships. It's about trust. It's about you. As a local independent agent, Bible Insurance Agency can design an insurance program that's just right for you and your family. Give the people you love safe, sound, secure protection from Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency, 423-586-4320, or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown.
Bottom of the first about to get underway. We'll take you through the starting batting order for Newberry. Bryson Knuckles, the second baseman, will lead things off, followed by Jesse Free, the third baseman, and Jonathan Velez, the designated hitter. Wilson Wages, the left fielder, bats cleanup, and Cade Faircloth, the center fielder, will go in the 5-hole. Cooper Gentry enters the ballgame at first base. He bats 6th. Anthony Plotkin makes his first start of the series, batting 7th and right. Luke White is the catcher, batting 8th, and Chandler Mims will make his third start of the series, batting 9th and at shortstop. Bryson Knuckles stands in against the freshman phenom for Carson-Newman, Colton Kaysen, a 3-0 start to the season. As there's a fly ball on the first pitch swinging, Bryson Knuckles will single to lead off. One pitch and a base hit for Bryson Knuckles brings up Jesse Free. A 3-0 start to the season for Colton Kaysen with a 4.41 ERA in 16 and a third innings pitched. Jesse Free batting .400 on the year. South Carolina native shows bunt, instead pulls back, watches it go low for ball one. Free went 0 for 3 with a walk in game one of the doubleheader. Newberry was handed its second conference loss of the year, the other of which being to Tusculum last weekend. 1-0 pickoff back to first, but Knuckles is back in safely. Newberry wearing white pants with a black stripe up the side. Scarlet red belts and scarlet red jerseys to match, with the Berry written in gray script across the front, more like silver with a white outline, similar numbers on the back. Gray and white will outline the neck and sleeves of Newberry's uniforms as well. White batting helmets and with red brims, and they have the caps to match when they take the field defensively. Shows bunt, lays it down the third base line, picked up by Gibson. The throw will come onto first base in time for the out. A sacrifice bunt, 5-3 for Jesse Free. Mentioned heading into this series, Newberry, top 10 in the country in both sacrifice flies and sacrifice bunts, and there's one of the two right there. Brings up Jonathan Velez, the designated hitter. He went 1 for 4 with an RBI in game 1. He's batting .267. The Puerto Rican native will try to drive in Knuckles from second. Look back towards second base. Pickoff by Kaysen. It nabs Knuckles right in the rib cage and rolls into center field with nobody covering the bag. And Knuckles decides to stay standing at second. Looks like he's all right despite the pickoff attempt directly hitting Knuckles' body. And he'll take the lead off of second again. Kaysen has been a reliable pitcher for Carson-Newman. The one downfall is he's been prone to giving a ball. First pitch comes inside of the Velez at bat, and it's 1-0. Some would say that this park favors him because of how cavernous at the Smith Road Complex plays, especially with the wind blowing in. Pitch is taken inside, however, it's in the zone for a called strike. Weather's starting to get colder as the sun has started to hide behind not only the clouds, but dipped underneath the horizon. 1-1, chopping ball that will get into left field. Knuckles will get the green light. The throw from Bolton comes home. Delgado will have no chance at the tag, and Newberry has taken an early 1-0 lead. Velez had a ground ball that just jumped up and popped over the body of Aiden Gibson, the third baseman for Carson-Newman. It drives home a run for Newberry, and the Wolves lead 1-0. In both games of this series so far, the team to score first has gone on to win the ball game. Pickoff back to first base. It trickles out of the glove of Floyd, but stays in front of him, so Velez, who dove back in, won't try to go up to second. It's an RBI single for the Newberry designated hitter. First pitch to Wilson Wages, the left fielder, will cut inside and miss for ball 1. Wages 1 for 3 in game 1. He walked and struck out. He's batting .383 on the season. Newberry was able to manufacture a run on just 3 batters. Second pitch of the at-bat is called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner aboard. And a 1-0 lead for Newberry. Pickoff back to first, but Velez is back in safely. Barring a double play, Cade Faircloth will get a chance to grab a bat. He's the 5-hole batter standing on deck for Newberry. The 1-1. Chopping ground ball, back up the middle. Jenkins will flip it on to second for 1. Nathan goes over to Floyd, but it's not in time, and Wages will reach on a fielder's choice. Brings up Cade Faircloth. 3 for 4 in game 1, 2 for 4 in game 2. He has been a really tough out for the Eagles to get. 5 for 8 in the series, so this season against the Eagles, batting .625 for the .346 hitting Faircloth. Another pickoff back to first. Wages is back in safely. Defensively for Carson-Newman, it's Bolton, Miller, and Williams left to right in the outfield. The infield features Gibson, Jenkins, Nathan, and Floyd, also from left to right. Delgado, the catcher, with Kaysen, the pitcher. Pitch out on a runner going. The throw down to second is too high and will trickle into the outfield. So a stolen base for Wilson Wages as Delgado's throw was over the top of Cole Nathan's head. So another runner in scoring position for Newberry. That pitch to Faircloth was a ball. So it is a 1-0 count. Now the 1-0 delivery. Catching the zone downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Faircloth batting with a runner in scoring position. Newberry already has a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. The 1-1 delivery taken outside for ball 2. If game 3 of this series and game 2 of this doubleheader is the only one that you're tuning in for, worth mentioning back from game 1, if you hear music during an at-bat, it is not the speakers malfunctioning here. It is next door at softball, the walk-up music and between inning music. Another pickoff back to second, but Wages is in safely. Newberry softball didn't have a whole lot to cheer about in game 1 of their doubleheader with Lander. However, in game 2, the Wolves lead the Bearcats 8-5 in the top of the 5th. The delivery to Faircloth will miss low. It's ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Scores from around the South Atlantic Conference today. Catawba takes down Limestone to even their series up at 1. It was an 11-5 final score over the Saints. Look back towards second. Now the 3-1. It's looped in the air towards center field. Miller gives chase, will reach up in right center and make the catch. 1 run scores off 2 hits for Newberry. It's an early lead for the Wolves in the rubber match of this 3-game South Atlantic Conference Series. Top of the second coming up next on the Eagles Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Julian Hines leads off the second inning for Carson-Newman. The 4-5-6 portion of the Eagles batting order due up. Hines, Gibson, and Bolton. The first pitch from Chanson Cole is swung on and missed by Hines for strike 1. Hines, or Cole I should say, despite leading the nation in strikeouts with 30, does not have the best strikeout per 9 ratio as Hines swings and misses yet again. That goes to Colby Dugan, who has 21 strikeouts per 9, who is second overall in strikeouts right behind Cole. A foul ball by Hines. Two pitchers from Grand Valley State, Alan Thorington and Colin Bradley, go second and third in the K per 9 category with 19.29 and 18. Hines puts it into play. Fly ball left field. Wages is underneath it. Will reach up and make the play. 4 in a row retired by Chanson Cole and the Wolves. Aiden Gibson comes up to the plate, batting .341. He got a single base hit in game 1 of this doubleheader, going 1 for 4 with an RBI. Gibson trying to give Carson-Newman its first base runner of Game 2 of the doubleheader. First pitch of the at-bat falls in for a strike. The 0-1 is a foul tip. That's 0-2 now. Updates from around the South Atlantic Conference. Mentioned that Catawba took down Limestone in Game 1 of its doubleheader, 11-5, as the 0-2 missing outside for ball one. Wingate a come-from-behind victory to even the series with Lenoir-Rhyne, 7-4. The 1-2 delivery, this one's hit into the left center field gap. Charging after it, diving out, and making the play is Cade Faircloth. An excellent play on the run, diving out to make the catch, and that's 5 in a row put down by Cole. Brings up the 6-hole batter, Ryan Bolton, who's batting .421. Had a 1-for-2 day in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Walked once, struck out once. By the way, in Game 2 of those doubleheaders across the SAC, first pitch called strike to Bolton. LR is leading 3-0 in the bottom of the third inning in Hickory. Catawba leads Limestone 3-2 in the top of the third over in Gaffney. Foul ball up the first base line puts a second strike on the Bolton at bat. Mars Hill and Anderson also playing a doubleheader of their own. Game 2 of that doubleheader over in Anderson, South Carolina. The Lions lead the Trojans 3-1. A called third strike at the top of the zone. 6 put down in order by Chanson Cole. 2 strikeouts to his name so far. Bottom of the second inning. We'll see the Wolves come back to the plate when we come back on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Back from the Smith Road Complex in Newberry, Cooper Gentry, Anthony Plotkin, and Luke White do up the bottom of the second inning for Newberry. Gentry and Plotkin batting over 300 on the year, looking to extend Newberry's 1-0 lead as we enter the bottom of the second in our 7-inning contest.
Now batting, number 3, Cooper Gentry.
Did not see Gentry in Game 1 besides as a defensive substitution. But he did not get an at-bat in Game 1 of this doubleheader. First pitch missing low, 4-1. 1 ball, no strikes. A called strike right down the heart of the plate on a 1-0 count, make it a 1-1. Carson-Newman and Newberry both have midweeks coming up. Newberry will host Erskine and the Flying Fleet on Tuesday. A fly ball hit towards center field. Miller turns his back to home plate, but will make the catch right in front of the Newberry College sign out in left center. So Gentry flies out to center field. It's back-to-back flyouts to center field dating back to the first inning. Puts the first out on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the second, and it brings up Anthony Plotkin. A ball downstairs to open the Plotkin at bat. He's batting .345. Saw him as a defensive substitution in right field in the last game. He then went 0 for 2 with a strikeout when he came to the dish. Called strike down low, and it's a 1-1 count. Plotkin did not play in yesterday's contest between Newberry and Carson-Newman. The 1-1. Missing low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. One away here in the bottom of the second. Newberry leading 1-0 and hoping their ace can propel them to another pitcher's duel victory. 2-1 delivery is chopped foul into the third base dugout where Carson-Newman occupies. Eagles have a midweek coming up with Young Harris on Wednesday before having their second home sack series of the season against Lincoln Memorial. A swing and a miss on a 2-2 low into the glove of Delgado, so no need to throw down to first. It's the first strikeout of the day for Colton Kaysen.
Well, life on the farm is kinda laid back, ain't much an old country boy like me. Now batting, number 7, Luke White.
Luke White bats .235 on the season. The junior from Clinton, South Carolina, not too far from here in Newberry, over to the west. The ball will miss downstairs. It's a 1-0 count. Eagles will face Lincoln Memorial a single game on February 28th, a doubleheader on March 1st. Called strike on the outside part of the plate, evens the count to 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 away. The delivery, a called strike down low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luke White. 2 gone in the bottom of the second. Tomorrow, Sunday, begins a couple of other sack series that did not play Friday, Saturday. Ball missing upstairs, 2-2. Emory and Henry at Coker will have a doubleheader tomorrow before finishing up on Monday afternoon. As well as Lincoln Memorial UVA Wise having the same idea. The 2-2 from Kaysen. Ground ball hit over to third. Gibson will fire onto Floyd in time for the out. 3 up, 3 down go the Wolves here in the bottom of the second. Newberry still holding on to a 1-0 lead as we head to the third. Chanson Cole comes back to the mound when we return next on the Eagles Sports Network.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit interdigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser focused on your success.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Back here from the Smith Road Complex. Chanson Cole back on the mound for his third inning of work, trying to get through one portion of the Eagles' batting order one time around without allowing a base runner. He'll have to get through the 7, 8, 9 of Cole Nathan, Trey Miller, and Frankie Delgado. Nathan, 317 on the year. The starting second baseman for Carson-Newman went 2 for 4 with 2 RBI in game 1 of this doubleheader. First pitch is low and away for ball 1 from Cole. Newberry holding a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third. Cole's 1-0 delivery is swung over the top of and missed by Nathan for strike 1. Entering this weekend, the nation's leader in strikeouts, Chanson Cole, looking for his 32nd with a strikeout of Nathan. He'll foul off a pitch for strike 2. 7-inning contest here in Newberry in Game 2 and the rubber match of this series. Ball skips into the dirt for ball 2. 2-2 to Nathan, the second baseman. Winner of this game wins the series between two teams that are currently sitting in the upper echelon of the conference. Foul ball will keep it at 2-2. Newberry, after the loss in Game 1, sitting at 3-2 in the conference. Carson-Newman at 4-1. A swing and a miss into the glove of White. And it's the third strikeout for Chanson Cole.
We almost had it. It could be quicker than that. Now batting number 7, Trey Miller.
Brings up Trey Miller, the center fielder. The toughest out to get for Carson-Newman, batting .429. Miller 1 for 4 in Game 1 with 2 RBI. He'll hit one foul down the left field line towards the softball complex. With it being Saturday, also a few South Atlantic Conference basketball games as that pitch comes inside and will hit Miller in the back. So through 7 batters, Cole gets through it perfectly until he hits Trey Miller in the small of his back, right around the bottom of that number 7. And the Eagles have a base runner.
Now batting number 8, Frankie Delgado.
Frankie Delgado 0 for 3 on the season. He's only gotten really pinch hit opportunities so far, being the backup catcher behind Nick Castellana. He'll get his first start of the season in a pivotal rubber match. Pickoff back to first, and Miller is in safe and standing. Didn't even have to slide in. Shows bunt. Delgado fouls it off, however. That's strike 1. 6 basketball games taking place today across the conference. Men's basketball, Lenore-Ryan at Limestone. LR in the top half of the conference, lead by 14 over Limestone at halftime. The 0-1 shows bunt again, lays it down the third base line, picked up by Free. The throw to first is thrown away. Miller will advance to third. He slides in. The throw trickles off the chest protector of White, and Delgado will get aboard. We'll see if this is ruled a reach on air or single and then an error. And just waiting for the scoreboard to change as Ryan Jenkins will get another chance to bat. So it will go down as a reach on error on the sacrifice bunt, so it won't go against him. And it brings back the top of the batting order in Ryan Jenkins. Runners are at the corners with 1 away for Jenkins. Big opportunity for the Eagles to try to tie it. He'll take a first pitch elevated for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, runners at the corners. The tying run for Carson-Newman in the third, 90 feet away. Jenkins will foul it off on the third base side, evens the count at 1-1. Elsewhere across men's basketball, second half, Lincoln Memorial trying to respond after being upset by UVA-Y as they lead Coker by 13 early second half. A line drive into left center field. That's a base hit, likely extra bases. In to score is Miller, pulling into second base. With a stand-up double is Ryan Jenkins, and the Eagles have tied the game in the top of the third. So Jenkins with a double. Delgado stops at third, and Miller scored easily. It just got into the gap between Wages and Faircloth, and the Wolves did a nice job of tracking it down to stop Delgado from getting the green light at third base to head home. Brings up Spencer Williams, the lone lefty batter for Carson-Newman, and gets the advantage against the right-handed pitching Cole. First offering is a called strike down low. No balls, one strike, one out. Runners at second and third for the Eagles. The 0-1 slapped over towards the left side. Foul out of play. Chance and Cole, a really difficult guy to score runs on, and part of that is going to be unearned if Delgado comes across to score with an E5 in the inning. But Chance and Cole, just a 1.59 ERA entering today's ballgame. The 0-2 delivery to Williams is poked foul down the left side. Wages gives chase, but will run out of real estate as this one lands out of play closer to the softball facility, actually on a big hill down the left field line near the batting cages and pitching facility that stand in between the softball complex and the baseball field. No balls, two strikes, two runners aboard. Another foul ball will keep the at-bat alive. Really no chance at a double play unless there's a lineup, but no grounding into a double play for Spencer Williams. So more likely than not, Logan Floyd will get an opportunity to bat as the on-deck batter. The 0-2 top of the third inning is a ball outside to Spencer Williams. The Newberry crowd was looking for a punch-out, which would have been Cole's fourth of the game. The 1-2 comes inside and misses for ball two. Mars Hill and Catawba facing off in men's basketball in Mars Hill. The Lions hold a 5-point lead at halftime over the Catawba Indians. The 2-2 delivery on the way to Williams. He swings over the top of it and misses for strike three. It's strike four for Chance and Cole. Get him up to 33 on the season, and it brings up Logan Floyd. Both outs this inning have been recorded by way of the strikeout. Everything that's been put in play, runners have been safe for Carson-Newman. First offering to Floyd is elevated just a bit too high. More men's basketball scores from around the conference. Emory and Henry at Anderson with about 8 minutes to go in the second half. The Trojans lead the Wasps by 5, 55-50. The 1-0 swung over the top of and missed, and the count's even at 1-1. Here in Newberry, the Wolves lead Tusculum 42-27 at the half in men's basketball. A fly ball hit towards right field. Plotkin gives chase into foul territory. He will drop it as a foul ball. So Plotkin tried to dive out in right field foul territory, but drops it. It will go down as a foul ball, so good news for the Eagles that Floyd gets another opportunity to bat with a 2-strike count. Final men's game that we'll tell you about is between Wingate and UVA Wise. Wingate dominating 34-19 at the half. Ball will miss downstairs, and the count goes even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the following inning, we'll take you around the scores in South Atlantic Conference women's basketball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners in scoring position. The delivery is well outside for Floyd, and the count runs full. Well, if you hear a lot of howling, it's over from the softball complex Newberry, a swing and a miss first from Logan Floyd. He'll strike out, make it 5 on the day for Chanson Cole. However, a run scores. It's earned 1 run off 1 hit and 2 runners left on base for the Eagles. The tying run has crossed the plate. Bottom of the 3rd coming up for Newberry when we return next on the Eagles Sports Network.
My favorite thing about my community? The safety, the reliability, the people. We rely on each other, and we rely on local electric co-op. It's not just about electricity. It's about empowering community, empowering moments, empowering safety, empowering togetherness, empowering knowledge. That's why when I need something, I rely on my co-op. I trust my co-op because the co-op is us. We are the co-op. AEC. Member-owned and service-driven.
This is Carson-Newman men's basketball alum Taylor Hawkins. I want to help your family secure its financial future. I'm with Modern Woodman Financial Planning, where we touch lives and secure futures. Let Modern Woodman protect your family's financial security through life insurance, retirement planning, and financial services. You can contact me, Taylor Hawkins, at cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. That's cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. Help secure your family's financial future through Modern Woodman Financial Planning.
Back here from Newberry, Chandler Mims, Bryson Knuckles, and Jesse Freed due up in the bottom half of the 3rd. The 9-1-2 portion of the order taking on Colton Kaysen, who, despite allowing a run in the 1st inning, has looked pretty good. 1 strikeout so far. Kaysen pitches to contact a lot. You're not going to see him strike out too many batters, but this is a park that favors pitchers that pitch to contact with just a lot of open space, especially in dead center field. Chandler Mims leads things off for Newberry. First offering to him is a called strike on a breaking ball. Was mentioning prior to the break, if you heard a lot of howling, it was from over from the softball complex where Newberry hit a grand slam to take a 13-6 lead in the 5th inning over Lander. A ball will miss down low. It's a ball and a strike. So just a single run away from run rule territory against the Bearcats are the Wolves softball team. The 1-1 ground ball hit to short. Jenkins will fire onto Floyd in time for the out. Makes it 5 straight retired by Kaysen and the Eagles defense as we're back to the top of the batting order for Bryson Knuckles. Knuckles singled in the 1st and later came around to score. First offering will miss low. It's ball 1. Well, some scores from around the South Atlantic Conference basketball on the women's side. We took you around the men's scores earlier. And all scores are final on the women's side. The 1-0 fouled off. Mars Hill takes down Catawba. Mars Hill's been looking like a really solid women's basketball side this year. A 9-point win for the Lions, 63-54. Tusculum took down Newberry not too far from the ballpark here. Foul ball will tail foul on the right side. No chance for a play on that, and the count's now 1-2. 73-51 was the final for Tusculum over Newberry. Senior day for Coker. The Cobras at the top of the conference will clinch the 1 seed at the SAC tournament. The 1-2 comes inside, missing, and it's 2-2. They had a 9-point victory, 62-53 on senior day over Lincoln Memorial. The 2-2 well outside, and the count moves 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 3rd inning, the Eagles tied it up with a run in the top of the 3rd to make the ball game 1-1. The Wolves are looking to respond. Payoff pitch downstairs, and it's a 1-out walk for Bryson Knuckles. Brings up Jesse Free. He had a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Anderson, who's also been looking really strong in the women's basketball world, took down Emory and Henry 76-58. Limestone and Lenore-Rhine, a battle for really the 8th seed. A pickoff over to first base, but back in safely is Knuckles. A big third quarter, a 21-5 third quarter, propel Lenore-Rhine to a 2-point victory over Limestone. Big win for the Bears. Ball outside and a throw down to first base, but Knuckles is in safely with no tag. And then the final women's score we'll tell you about. Wingate taking down UVA Wise 76-62. Kaysen fires the 1-0 downstairs, and it's now a 2-0 count to Jesse Free. Knuckles stands at first after walking. Jonathan Velez stands on deck. Two balls, no strikes. Kaysen fires the third pitch of the at-bat. That's a breaking ball that finds the zone for strike one. The Wolves looking for back-to-back series wins in the conference. Pickoff over to first, but Knuckles in safely. If Newberry gets the win in this contest against Carson-Newman, it would be back-to-back 2-1 series wins to open up conference play for Newberry. Pickoff again over to first, but in safely is Knuckles. Two balls and a strike to the third baseman, batting .400 on the season. Another pickoff attempt, Knuckles back in safely. There has been one successful pickoff attempt this series. It belongs to Newberry, who picked off Cole Nathan at second base yesterday in Game 1 of this series. The 2-1 runner goes. The throw down on a swing and miss. Had him in his tracks was Jenkins. Just couldn't hold on to the ball as Delgado threw down, so it's a stolen base for Bryson Knuckles as Free swings through it. The throw beat him by a mile. Jenkins just couldn't quite get the glove there to catch the ball, let alone apply the tag. Look back towards second base from Kaysen. Now he fires the 2-2. Chopping ground ball over to short. Jenkins will throw onto third base, but he's safe. Jenkins with back-to-back mental errors, throwing onto third base, trying to make the play instead of taking the shore out over at first and not leaping for the ball on the stolen base attempt. Tom Griffin is out talking with the umpire, seeing if he can get the ruling changed. And the runners for Newberry are coming in. I believe Tom Griffin will also talk to Colton Kaysen. No action in the Eagles bullpen, trusting Kaysen to do his thing. So Free will reach on a fielder's choice. On the throw over to third. Meanwhile, Knuckles safe at third base after Jenkins' throw to Gibson wasn't in time. And just looking at it analytically, you think if he throws to first and gets Free out, you bring up Velez, and sure, Knuckles is at third, but then there's 2 outs in the inning, and you just need to worry about getting the batter out. Sure, you're running the risk of Velez having a base hit and it's scoring a run for Newberry, but now you have runners at the corners, and that's the risk you take. Runners at the corners with just 1 out. And that might be a message that Tom Griffin and the coaching staff share with Jenkins in the days off prior to the Young Harris game on Wednesday. So everybody's safe, and it brings up Jonathan Velez. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI single. Runners at the corners for Newberry. Runner goes on a chopping ground ball to short. He'll throw it on to first this time and let the run score. So it's an RBI 6-3 ground out. Knuckles will come in to score. Free gets up to second. 2 runs have scored for Newberry, taking a 2-1 lead in both cases. It was Jonathan Velez collecting the RBI and Bryson Knuckles crossing home. Wilson Wages reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. First offering missing low for ball 1. Newberry, 2 runs on 2 hits, have committed 1 error. Carson-Newman, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors committed to this point of the ball game. Pickoff back to first base, but in second base and back in safely is free. The Wolves have matched Carson-Newman's run that they scored in the top half of this inning to reclaim a 2-1 lead, which was the final score of yesterday's contest in the series opener. 1-0, foul ball will push the count to 1-1. Wages at the dish. Sophomore out of Clinton, South Carolina. Collected the first extra base hit of this series back in game 1 of the doubleheader. Ground ball hit to third. Is it caught on the fly by Gibson? It is. So Aiden Gibson able to snag it out of midair. Wilson Wages lines out to third to end the frame. Newberry scores a run on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base to reclaim the lead. It's 2-1 Newberry as we head to the 4th on the Eagle Sports Network.
We select our insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with us, you can count on receiving fast, courteous, and professional service and quality protection through Auto Owners Insurance. For a no-problem approach for your life, home, car, and business insurance needs, ask us about the No Problem Company, Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency at 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown, serving the Lakeway area's insurance needs since 1931.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Back here from the Smith Road complex, Julian Hines shows bunt but pulls back in time for a ball low and away. A left-handed hitting Hines will lead off the Carson-Newman 4th as the 4-5-6 portion of the batting order is due up. Takes another ball missing low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 shows bunt again. This time it's a called strike as it goes about belt high on the outside part of the plate. Left-handed hitting Hines against the right-handed hitting Cole. As a ball will miss downstairs. Hitters count 3-1. Chanson Cole, a freshman, already showing this level of promise with Newberry. Mentioned time and time again, leading the country in strikeouts. He's already got 5 today. Will walk a batter for just the first time today, and Julian Hines will reach on a leadoff walk. But if Chanson Cole is just a freshman and already putting up numbers like this, I mean, sure, film is going to become more available and the scouting report will become more in-depth, but you have 2 great freshmen on both sides of the mound. You have Chanson Cole for Newberry, Colton Cason, the true freshman for Carson-Newman, and this is the future of all-sack pitching. if not this year, which they should be, as the pickoff to Hines, he gets back in safely. They should be all sack selections this year, but if not this year, then next year and every year to come after that. Another pickoff, much closer than I think Hines would have liked, but he's back in there safely. Jansen Cole at 57 pitches to the second batter in the Carson-Newman fourth. A swing and a miss on the first offering as Hines takes off for second base. He will get a stolen base. For Carson-Newman had a stolen base in game one. That gets them up to 19 stolen bags on the year. Runner in scoring position with nobody out for Aiden Gibson, who flew out to center field his last time up. The 0-1 shows bunt, pulls back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Newberry leads 2-1. Top of the fourth inning. Runner at second base with nobody out for Carson-Newman. Rubber match of this 3-game series. Shows bunt, pulls back, but a called strike. Puts strike 2 onto Aiden Gibson. Cole looking for his 6th strikeout victim. Right-handed hitting Gibson. A ball and 2 strikes. Cole fires. It's inside. Nearly wore it on the shoulder, but got out of the way. 2-2 the count, top of the fourth. Solid chance for Carson-Newman to tie with a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Ground ball back up the middle, picked up by Cole. He throws it onto third, trying to get Hines out. Instead, it gets away into the Carson-Newman bullpen, and Hines will cross the plate to score. On what will likely be ruled a fielder's choice for Aiden Gibson. Hines then takes third and home. Gibson takes second on an E1. It's the second error of the game for Newberry. So Gibson trades places with Hines. It was a heads-up play by Jansen Cole. Got the ball in his glove, and I could see the thinking there when Hines was heading over for third and had him in a rundown. Hines got into a full stop, and then when the throw came on to free, it just airmailed him. A called strike will open up the at-bat for Ryan Bolton, who was a strikeout victim his last time up. The lone backwards K thus far for Jansen Cole. A bunt laid foul, and it's strike 2. So the Eagles have retied the game here in the top of the fourth. Hines walked, got a stolen base. Scores on a fielder's choice plus E1 by Jansen Cole. Gibson jumps up and down at second before Cole fires a first ball to Ryan Bolton, a ball and 2 strikes. Carson-Newman has struck for a run in now back-to-back innings in the third and in the fourth. Only 1 hit to their credit thus far. It belongs to Ryan Jenkins with a double. A chopping ground ball up to the shortstop Mims. The throw on to first. Diving out to get it is Gentry, and that's the first out of the inning. So Bolton grounds out 6-3. It's just the first out of the inning as it brings up Cole Nathan with a runner at third as Gibson was able to advance to third on the ground out. So now the go-ahead run for Carson-Newman just 90 feet away with 1 out. Cole Nathan will try to at least push this into the outfield to give Gibson a chance. Pitch taken high, 4-1. Couple of final scores from Carson-Newman Beach Volleyball today against Division I College of Charleston, and the Cougars fell 4-1, but impressive to get a point against a D1 foe from the CAA. A foul ball will make it a 1-1 count to Nathan. The win for Carson-Newman came on the Morgan Foy-Cameron Ehlers pairing. They defeated Smeltzer and Holland of the College of Charleston 21-12 and 21-18. Half-hearted swing is called a strike regardless, and it's now 1-2. Runner at third base, the 1-2 delivery is hit in the air over the head of the second baseman Knuckles. It's an RBI single for Cole Nathan. The Eagles have struck twice here in the top of the fourth and have taken a 3-2 lead. It's the Eagles' first lead of the game and the first game of this series in which both teams have now had a lead. Carson-Newman took a big 6-run lead in the top of the second in game 1 of this doubleheader, and although the lead was eventually shrunk down to just 1, Carson-Newman never relinquished it. A bunt laid down the third baseline by Trey Miller, who was hit by a pitch his last time up. Two runs have crossed the plate for the Eagles. And time call Trey Miller will talk to Tom Griffin at third base as the third base coach for the Eagles, talking about potential scenarios. Wouldn't be shocked to see a hit and run called for here with one out and a runner at first. So no balls, one strike, one out. Runner at first after Cole Nathan delivered an RBI single. Shows bunt, pulls back on a pitch that goes low and away. Taking a look at Chanson Cole's appearances, through 3 appearances, this is the most runs he has allowed. Previous high was 2 against Wayne State back on February 8th. 1-1 shows bunt and pulls back. Miller loves doing that, and in my opinion, I think it almost messes with the mind of the umpires because too many times this season you've seen Miller specifically pull back on a bunt, and 95% of the time it's called a ball. So it's either 20/20 vision from Miller or messing with the umpire's decision-making. Well, this time he shows bunt, and this time it is a called strike, so there goes the announcer's jinx. Two balls, 2 strikes. Runner over at first is Cole Nathan. The 2-2 to Miller is down Main Street for a called third strike. 6th strikeout of the afternoon for Chanson Cole. Gets him up to 35 on the season. Cole's been getting better at his strikeout prowess as the season's gone on. As Frankie Delgado steps up, he's without an at-bat officially. Sacrifice bunt in which he reached on an E5. In his debut against Barton back on the 1st of the month, as the first pitch is called a strike. Pitched 5 innings, only struck out 3 Bulldogs. Then a week later against Wayne State, struck out 11 over 6 innings. And then last weekend against Tusculum had his best outing of the year. A pickoff back to first, but Nathan is back in safely. 6 innings of work, only allowed 1 hit, walked 4, but struck out 15. The 0-1 runner goes on a swing and a miss by Delgado. The throw down to second, tag made by the shortstop Mims, and it's in time for the out. Cole Nathan caught stealing for the second time this series. However, the damage done for Carson-Newman. 2 runs will score off a hit and error, and nobody left on base for CN. Delgado will lead off the 5th when we get there, but for now, Newberry looks to respond in the bottom of the 4th with Faircloth, Gentry, and Plotkin due up.
Norm Food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back here on the Eagle Sports Network here in Newberry, South Carolina, the first of 4 road trips to the Palmetto State. All SAC series. Newberry, Limestone, Anderson, and Coker. All 4 South Carolina teams in the SAC Carson-Newman will be visiting for South Atlantic Conference Series. Stepping up to the dish, Cade Faircloth. Cooper Gentry and Anthony Plotkin due up for the Wolves. White pants for both teams. White caps with red brims match scarlet red jerseys for Newberry. Navy blue caps to match navy blue shirts for the visiting Carson-Newman. First pitch, a called strike on the outside part of the plate. 3-2, Carson-Newman leads after a 2 spot in the top of the 4th. A 0-1 delivery skips into the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff batter of the bottom of the 4th. Reminder, 7-inning game in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. It was a 9-inning game in Game 1. The 1-1 hit sharply down the left field line, but foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Kaysen looking to continue to weave his magic. It's a line drive over to short. Can't be fielded cleanly by Jenkins. He picks it up, fires to first. Floyd has to scoop it out of the dirt, but it's in time for the out. That was the play of almost. It was almost caught on the fly by Jenkins. It was almost not in time, and it was almost skipped into the dirt and rolling all the way into the Newberry dugout. Instead, Jenkins able to recover in time, throw on to Floyd, who scoops it out and is able to record the out against Cade Faircloth, who has been the toughest out for the Eagles thus far. A ground ball foul. This will roll towards the Eagles dugout on the third base side. A 2-1 decision in favor of Newberry yesterday in Game 1 of the series. A 14-6 win for Carson-Newman in Game 1 of the doubleheader and Game 2 overall. First pitch to Gentry will miss inside, ball 1. Two teams that faced off against each other in last season's South Atlantic Conference tournament. The 1-1 swung on and missed. That's strike 2. That was a game in which Newberry won, gave Carson-Newman its first loss of the tournament before they were eliminated by Wingate the following game. Ball missing upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gentry, the first baseman, nobody on with 1 away. Bottom of the 4th, excuse me. The 2-2. Hit in the air towards right field. Williams comes in foul territory, will reach up and make the catch. There's 2 gone in the Wolves' 4th.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Come on. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, hey.
Anthony Plotkin steps up. He struck out, has been the lone strikeout victim of the freshman Colton Kaysen to this point of the ball game. He takes the first pitch at the knees for a called strike 1. The 0-1, big swing and a miss over the top of it for the right fielder Plotkin. He comes up empty, however. Midweeks coming up for both of these programs, and 2 midweeks that they will both host. The 0-2 swung on and missed. That's strike 3 for the second time today. Colton Kaysen gets a strikeout, and for the second time today, it comes against Anthony Plotkin. Wolves go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 4th. We head to the 5th with Carson-Newman leading 3-2.
New fresh ideas on campus. From Chick-fil-A to Maples Coffee to Saboreo's, Fresh Ideas has tons of high-quality dining options for whatever taste you may need. Saboreo's is open Monday through Friday for lunch and dinner and the Health Sciences Building. Saboreo's features all your Mexican favorites, from burritos to nachos to quesadillas to tacos to anything you can think of in a tortilla. Follow Fresh Ideas on Instagram at Carson-Newman Dining.
This is Carson-Newman men's basketball alum Taylor Hawkins. I want to help your family secure its financial future. I'm with Modern Woodman Financial Planning, where we touch lives and secure futures. Let Modern Woodman protect your family's financial security through life insurance, retirement planning, and financial services. You can contact me, Taylor Hawkins, at cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. That's cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. Help secure your family's financial future through Modern Woodman Financial Planning.
Top of the 5th inning, as this game is on a elevated pace, a 7-inning contest today. So as we enter the 5th inning, it starts to feel more like the 7th, the 6th feels like the 8th, the 7th feels like the 9th, and so on. But for Carson-Newman here in the top of the 5th, it will be the 9-1-2 Frankie Delgado first pitch swinging on a foul ball that gets out of play. Delgado 0 for 3 on the season, primarily in pinch hit appearances. Reached on a sacrifice bunt that involved an error earlier today, so he's still 0 for 0. The 0-1 missing low, and it's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here in the top of the 5th. In a 3-2 pitchers duel, 2 of the top freshman pitchers in the conference, as a ball will miss, 2 balls and a strike. Chanson Cole, who leads the Division II in strikeouts now with 35. Colton Kaysen, who's been the young phenom for Carson-Newman. A foul tip by Delgado finds its way into the glove of White for a foul tip, strike 2. Two on the way. Ground ball, chopper over towards third. Picked up by Free. The throw into Gentry. He has to go a little lower to receive the ball, but it is in time on a 5-3 ground out.
Now batting number 5.
The Eagles go back to the top of the order. Ryan Jenkins and Spencer Williams also due up this inning. Jenkins 1 for 2. He had an RBI double back in the 3rd. Has been the lone extra base hit of this second game of the doubleheader. He takes the first pitch inside at the letters for a called strike 1. The 0-1 delivery on the way, missing low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 away for Ryan Jenkins. The Eagles have a 1-run lead after they put up a 2 spot in the top of the 4th. A called strike will find its way into the zone, and it's now 1-2. The 1-2 delivery hit just foul down the third base line. It hit in fair territory before it got to the third base bag and then jutted off to the left side and tailed foul. Carson-Newman getting ready to host Young Harris on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. That'll be a tough matchup with the Mountain Lions. A swing and a miss on a 1-2 count, and Jenkins strikeout number 7 here in the 5th inning for Chanson Cole. And you know what you're expecting. You read the stats. I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record where he's leading the country in strikeouts, but then the story, you read your homework, do your homework, see that this guy is number one in strikeouts, and there's nothing you can do about it. He continues to rack them up. Ball low and inside. It's a 1-0 count to Spencer Williams. The 1-0 chopping ground ball back up the middle. Tough play for the middle infielders and can't get there. Spencer Williams will break a spell of back-to-back strikeouts on his line and get a 2-out single. It is just the third hit of the ball game for Carson-Newman.
Now batting number 11, Logan Floyd.
Mentioned on the banks of Mossy Creek, few other teams in action. Softball primarily had the weekend off, but played yesterday in a single game against Davis and Elkins as a ball will miss outside for ball one. Eagles took down the Senators at Davis and Elkins 7-4 yesterday from the Vic. Runner goes on a hit and run, ground ball up to Mims, the shortstop, who will throw on to first. Doing the splits is Gentry as he gets it into his glove on an inning-ending 6-3 ground out. The Eagles muster up a base hit, but that's all they can get. Middle of the fifth inning, Carson-Newman still leading 3-2 over Newberry here in a tough road environment at the Smith Road Complex on the Eagles Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Back here from the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex. Excuse me. I'm still used to being at home games at the Smith Road Complex in Newberry. Apologies on that. Went into autopilot mode as there will be a pinch hitter coming in for Newberry in place of Luke White. Parker Murgo comes in place of the catcher, Luke White. Murgo got a base hit, is batting 1,000 on the season. So bottom of the fifth. A called strike downstairs to Parker Murgo, the freshman out of West Columbia, South Carolina. As the pinch hitter takes another pitch to even it at 1-1. Ball outside will make it a 2-1 count. Was mentioning what's going on across Carson-Newman Athletics today. Tennis playing a doubleheader against Union of Kentucky. As that comes in, hits off the barrel of the bat. Still waiting on scores to come in from that doubleheader against the Bulldogs for Carson-Newman Tennis. Track and field over in Blacksburg, Virginia at the Virginia Tech Challenge. Got a very near school record in the men's 60-meter hurdle, but Shamar Patton was just 3/1000th of a second away from tying that, as well as Sydney McCarty winning the women's long jump. As time is called, the home plate umpire talking with athletic trainers, and wonder if this is something with the home plate umpire looking at his hands and his wrists are the Newberry athletic trainers. It was an abbreviated track meet for Carson-Newman, only 3 events being competed in, the other of which being the men's 200-meter. Favor Ekpekpe Comes in second place behind the University of North Carolina's Donovan Calhoun. Amin Kazmi disqualified after 2 or more steps on or over his lane line. So time called. I'm unsure what the ailment with the home plate umpire is, but it looks like he's good to go after taking a drink of water and the athletic trainer looking at his hands. It's a 2-2 count to Parker Murgo, the designated, or the pinch hitter, excuse me. It is 3 balls and a strike, it appears to be. It is 3-1. And the crowd will parrot his sign to make sure that everyone knows. 3-2, 3-1, I should say, and it's ball 4. Second walk surrendered by Kaysen, and the leadoff man is aboard for Newberry. Brings up Chandler Mims. Grounded out to short his last time up. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Carson-Newman holding on to a 3-2 lead. First offering shows bunt, but pulls back at the last second on a ball that will miss low. A 1-0 count. Three runs on 3 hits for Carson-Newman. 2 runs on 2 hits for Newberry. Shows bunt, but it's fouled off the plate. Counts even 1-1. Newberry trying to at least tie the game. The tying run is aboard. The go-ahead run at the plate as we start to get into the later stages of our ball game. Pickoff back to first, and Murgo is back in safely. (1-1). Kaysen still on the mound for the Eagles. The 1-1 shows bunt, went the entire way through, pulled back a little too late, and it's called a strike on Chandler Mims. Trying to play small ball with the leadoff man getting aboard. And now it's 1-2, takes the bunting option out of the hand of Chandler Mims. He'll likely have to swing away here. Instead, he'll take ball 2 just a touch low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Colton Kaysen, 2 strikeouts to this point. He's got a 2-strike count on Mims, 2-2. Shows bunt again. This time it's in fair territory. Picked up by Kaysen. The throw on to first is in time. Really dangerous move there for Mims to bunt on a 2-strike count. If it rolled foul, would have gone down as Kaysen's 3rd strikeout. Regardless, it is a sacrifice bunt. Parker Murgo gets up to second base, and we're back to the top of the batting order with Bryson Knuckles, who has yet to be retired or stranded in today's game. He's come around to score twice, representing the 2 runs on the scoreboard for Newberry. Pitch from Kaysen to Knuckles will find its way into the strike zone for strike 1. So an 0-1 count, 1 aboard in scoring position at second base, 1 out. The 0-1 delivery, Knuckles thought about going around, and he should have, as it was a called strike regardless, and it moves the count to 0-2. Tying run in scoring position for the Wolves, who trail by a run, 3-2. The delivery fouled off down the right side, out of play. We'll take a look at the sack scoreboard across the baseball landscape one more time in just a few moments. It's an 0-2 count to Bryson Knuckles, the batting leader for Newberry in average. He fouls it off and keeps the count at 0-2. Well, just to give you a little perspective on Bryson Knuckles' struggles at the plate in this series with Carson-Newman, entering this series, he was batting .388. Entering this third game of the series, he was batting .500 and has slightly elevated that with a base hit in the first. He is now 1 for 1. Tom Griffin comes out to have a conversation on the mound with Colton Kaysen. There is double-barreled action in the Carson-Newman bullpen. And you got to wonder if this is the day for Kaysen with an 0-2 count on Knuckles. I highly doubt it. You got to let Knuckles or Kaysen finish the at-bat against Knuckles at the very, very least. This is just a 2-strike count, and after Knuckles had fouled a couple pitches off, more likely than not saying, trust your stuff, don't worry about the runner at second, and perhaps sharing a bit of scouting insight to his catcher, Frankie Delgado. And more than any other coach in the country, Tom Griffin talks about catchers calling a game and doesn't like to see pitchers shaking off the catcher on a pitch. So there perhaps could be some insight to Delgado on what to call here for what kind of pitch that Kaysen throws on a 2-strike count with Murgo standing at second and 1 gone in the inning. So now it's an 0-2. Bottom of the 5th, tying run in scoring position. The pitch from Kaysen is slapped towards the netting on the first base side and foul. A few final scores from around the South Atlantic Conference. A 6-2 win for Anderson over Mars Hill earlier today. As Kaysen pauses, running out of time to throw the 0-2 pitch once more. Look back towards second, now fires a delivery on a well-hit ball towards right field. Williams comes in, will reach up and make the catch. Thought about tagging and heading for third. Williams' throw goes just a tad wild, but not wild enough, as Gibson, the third baseman, will get there to make the play. He gloves it to stop the runner from moving up, and Murgo brings up Jesse Free. Elsewhere across the SAC, 11-5, Catawba took down Limestone in Game 1 of its doubleheader. Wingate takes down Lenoir-Rhyne and Hickory 7-4. Look back towards second base from Kaysen. First offering to Free, down the heart of the plate on a breaking ball for strike 1. Top of the 7th inning in Hickory for Game 2 of that doubleheader between Wingate and Lenoir-Rhyne in a rivalry matchup. Lenoir-Rhyne leading 9-0, looking to take the series over the Bulldogs. Pickoff back to second base, but Murgo is in safely. Bottom of the 6th inning in Gaffney. It is a 5-2 lead for Catawba over Limestone, and a final in 7 innings on the back half of a doubleheader. Anderson takes down Mars Hill 4-3 to sweep that doubleheader over the Lions. The 0-1 offering fouled back into the screen by Free, and it's now 0-2. Anderson with a run rule victory over Mars Hill. The Trojans break out the brooms in the 3-game set against the Lions of Mars Hill and are looking at a pretty valuable position. Anderson came into this weekend 1-3 in South Atlantic Conference play, or 0-3, getting swept last weekend. Now they sweep Mars Hill. 0-2, check swing. It's ruled as an out. Jesse Free strikes out. It's the 3rd strikeout for Colton Kaysen today. A 2 unassisted as Delgado applies the tag. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. We head to the 6th inning next on the Eagles Sports Network.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit interdigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser focused on your success.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Prior to the start of the 6th inning, Jay Snyder talking with the home plate umpire for a defensive change. Taking over at catcher is Logan Busenlener. Took over for Parker Murgo.
Now batting number 22, Julian Hines.
And Julian Hines will lead off the inning. First pitch, a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Chanson Cole still on the hill. He's allowed 3 runs, only 2 of them are earned, so it's still the lowest amount of, ties the highest amount of earned runs in an appearance. Fouled off, the count's now 0-2. A foul ball hooking and tailing well out of play down the left field line. A ground ball foul down the first base line for Julian Hines, an 0-2, and a bit of Carson-Newman news to come across your timeline today. Ian Sollier of Carson-Newman Track and Field breaking his own school record in the men's weight throw with a 14.61 in a unattached meet that he was at Sewanee University in southern Tennessee. Ball upstairs will make it a 1-2. A chopping ground ball hooked up towards the first base side. Cole will pick it up and throw on to first. In time for the out, so Julian Hines grounds out to the pitcher to lead off the Carson-Newman half of the 6th. Trying to add some insurance runs as they did in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Newberry down to its final 6 outs, needing to score a run in what has been a pitcher's duel between Chanson Cole and Colton Kaysen. No relievers yet from either side. A called strike on the inside part of the plate to Aiden Gibson. There is action going in both bullpens, however, as we enter the 6th. The 0-1. Ground ball foul. One of the rare times Carson-Newman will play under the lights. Of course, no lights back home at the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex, but the latest first pitch scheduled is at Catawba for a 5 p.m. start in late April. The ball will miss downstairs, and that makes it a 1-2 count. Our game today in Game 2 of this doubleheader started at 4:50 after a lengthy delay in between games. Ball missing upstairs. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 2 balls and 2 strikes make it to Aiden Gibson, the third baseman who's 0 for 2 today. He swings over the top of a drop third strike. The tag was made by Busenlener, the catcher. It is the 8th strikeout of the day for Chanson Cole. Get him up to 37 on the season. And it brings up Ryan Bolton. He's 0 for 2 in this second game with a strikeout looking and a ground out to short. Bolton will swing and miss at the first offering from Cole for strike 1. Has been a strikeout machine for Newberry. The 0-1 fouled off down the left side. And it's strike 2. Other South Atlantic Conference baseball action you should know about. 4 series took place on Friday and Saturday. A foul ball dribbles up the third base line, keeps the count at 0-2. 2 series across the South Atlantic will take place on Sunday and Monday. Emory and Henry and Coker have a doubleheader tomorrow, a single game on Monday. Lincoln Memorial at UVA Wise, a doubleheader tomorrow, single game on Monday. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bolton the batter, the pitch from Cole. This one's slapped towards right field. Plotkin has a read, will reach up and make the grab. 3 up, 3 down go the Eagles here in the top of the 6th. Newberry still looking for a chance to rally when we return. On the Eagles Sports Network, it's Velez, Wages, and Faircloth due up when we return.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Insurance, it's about people, not things. It's about security. It's about confidence. It's about relationships. It's about trust. It's about you. As a local independent agent, Bible Insurance Agency can design an insurance program that's just right for you and your family. Give the people you love safe, sound, secure protection from Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown.
Welcome back to the Smith Road Complex in Newberry, South Carolina. Jonathan Velez, Wilson Wages, and Cade Faircloth. Velez 1 for 2 today. Wages 0 for 2. Faircloth 0 for 2 as well. Colton Kaysen has been pitching exceptionally well, has only allowed 2 Newberry base hits, but 2 Newberry runs in 5 innings of work thus far. So Velez, the Puerto Rico native, will stand in to lead things off. One of just 2 Wolves to have a base hit. How about this for Colton Kaysen? Both base hits allowed to the Newberry batters. First pitch will miss for ball 1. Came all the way back in the first inning in which Newberry scored a run. Newberry did plate another run in the third, but it came on an inning with no hits allowed. Small ball being used by the Wolves. The 1-0 called a strike, and it's a 1-1. In that third inning, after an out was recorded, Bryson Knuckles walked, stole second base, advanced to third on a fielder's choice by Jesse Free, in which everyone was safe, and then came home on an RBI ground out by who else but Jonathan Velez, the current batter, who takes a called strike on the 1-1 to make it a 1-2. Velez has both RBIs for Newberry in this game. The 1-2 missing outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the opening batter of the inning. Two the count. Kaysen fires on a ground ball. Comebacker to Kaysen. He gloves it. The throw on to Floyd is in time. Newberry running out of outs. Down to its final 5 outs to scratch across a single run.
Number 43,
Wilson Wages steps into the batter's box, 0 for 2 in this second game of the doubleheader. Reached on a fielder's choice and lined out to the third baseman Gibson. He's put bat on ball, just hasn't gotten aboard via base hit yet. Ball will miss downstairs, and it's now a 1-0 count to the left fielder Wages, who came into this contest batting just under 400. The The 1-0 delivery comes inside. A nasty breaking ball finds its way into the zone. Had Wages dipping out of the way, and it somehow cuts inside at the last second and finds the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. That comes inside. This time it hits him. So Wages ducked out of the way of the last pitch that bent into the strike zone. This one just doesn't have that horizontal break, and Wages will get aboard via a hit by pitch. And in a game like this, in a series like this, outside of the outlier of game 1 of this doubleheader where there were 20 runs combined between the two teams, base runners have felt like they've been at a premium. A 2-1 pitchers duel yesterday. We're in a 3-2 game here in Newberry today. And it brings up Cade Faircloth, who through this series has been the toughest out to get, but he's 0 for 2 today against Kaysen. In round 3, he'll take the first pitch inside for a called strike. And now the question is, will Kaysen, the freshman, take down Faircloth for a 3rd consecutive time, which is something that no Eagle pitcher has been able to do in this series? Can Kaysen break the spell? The 0-1, it's hit well towards left field and deep. Bolton gives chase. Did he get it in his glove? Bolton comes up with it in deep left center field, and Faircloth is retired for the 2nd out of the inning. Ryan Bolton was on his horse and took Secretariat all the way to the wall to make the play.
Now batting, number 3, Cooper Gentry.
Cooper Gentry fouled out to right field and also flew out to center. Has that slugging power to get it out into the outfield. The question is, can he find a gap? Pickoff back to first to Wilson Wages. The Newberry crowd that's getting a little restless for offense was rooting for Kaysen to throw it away. First offering to the first baseman Cooper Gentry, and not before another pickoff attempt. The true freshman Kaysen has been showing his stuff, has been the best pitcher of the series for the Eagles thus far. First offering to Gentry is in the strike zone. On the outside part of the plate, it's righty on righty in the matchup between Gentry and Kaysen. The Wolves trail by a single run. Tying run is on first base. A swing and a miss for strike 2. Wages represents the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th of a 7-inning contest. Cooper Gentry, the batter, represents the go-ahead. (0-2) with 2 outs. Runner at first, another pickoff. Newberry scored a run in the first and a run in the 3rd. Carson-Newman put up a single run in the 3rd inning, then a 2 spot in the 4th that has currently been keeping them afloat in this ball game, up 3-2 on Newberry. Kaysen, another pickoff. It becomes the 4th pickoff attempt of the Gentry at bat. So if you're keeping score at home, it's 4 pickoff attempts to 2 pitches thus far. Looks like Kaysen is dialed in, looking into his catcher Delgado to deliver the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. It's a pitch out, and they've got the runner going down. The catch cannot be made by Jenkins as it trickles away. And heading back to second base was Wages, who thought about heading over for 3rd, but instead will settle for 1 bag and a stolen base. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, the tying run has moved into scoring position for Newberry. Time is called as the athletic trainer, wonderful Miss Rachel, comes out to the shortstop position to check on Jenkins. I couldn't quite tell if his glove got ran into by Wages, who was running to second. to be honest, I can't go back into my memory and perfectly replay that play, but I do remember thinking that something didn't look quite right around the glove hand of Jenkins. Tom Griffin is now out there talking to his shortstop. And now the question becomes, can Jenkins continue? This could be a big loss. Of course, hoping that Jenkins is okay. But heading into a tough midweek against Young Harris, against rival Lincoln Memorial next weekend. And it looks like Jenkins is okay to continue the game. Tom Griffin will head back to the dugout. Rachel Jackson, the athletic trainer for the Eagles. So a ball and 2 strikes, runner at second. Wilson Wages, Cooper Gentry, the batter, still battling with a 2-strike count. The 1-2, bouncing ball up the middle. Jenkins has an opportunity to play it. He'll fire it onto first, and Jenkins, after getting checked out by the athletic trainer and head coach Tom Griffin, will field the ball and make the play to get us to the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th and final inning of regulation here in Newberry when we return next on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Insurance, it's about people, not things. It's about security. It's about confidence. It's about relationships. It's about trust. It's about you. As a local independent agent, Bible Insurance Agency can design an insurance program that's just right for you and your family. Give the people you love safe, sound, secure protection from Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency, 423-586-4320, or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown.
Pitching number 23, Braden Egan.
Couple of changes for Newberry as we enter the top of the 7th. New pitcher on the mound for Newberry is Braden Egan. So the starting pitcher in Chanson Cole has been not necessarily chased from the game, but his day is done after 6 innings of quality baseball, 3 hits, 3 runs allowed, and a really good appearance from Chanson Cole. He will be replaced by Braden Egan, the right-handed pitching freshman from Somerville, South Carolina. Cole Nathan, Trey Miller, and Frankie Delgado are due up here in the top of the 7th. Also another change over in right field that we'll tell you about after the first. Offering to Nathan is a miss high for ball 1. A new right fielder for Newberry as well. It's Bandy out in right. It's now a 2-0 count. Josh Bandy, the freshman from San Antonio, Texas, takes over in right. Ball downstairs and 3 pitches from Egan. All 3 of them have missed to the second baseman, Cole Nathan. A called strike down the middle. Typically, often you see that where a 3-0 count, and more often than not, coaches will tell their players not to swing at a 3-0 count as the 3-1 is hacked on and missed by Nathan. Counts full 3-2. And it typically gives the pitchers more confidence to just throw a ball down the middle to get that first strike call. The 3-2 popped foul and out of play. When I was in middle school, my coach told me if you have a 3-0 count, don't ever swing. You can swing at a 3-0 count when you get paid to, aka saying when you make it to the minors or the majors. A called strike 3, a very delayed call, but I think the right call nonetheless, as Nathan gets punched out. It's the 9th strikeout for Newberry on the game, the first for Braden Egan. Chanson Cole goes through 6 innings of work, allows 3 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned. Only walked 1 batter while earning 8 strikeouts on the game. Brings up Trey Miller, who swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. For reference, Newberry in the previous 2 games combined had struck out 10 Eagles. And then Chanson Cole gets in and strikes out 8 by himself across 6 innings. The 0-1 comes inside and will hit Trey Miller. And it looks like that's right on the wrist. Miller looked to be in a little discomfort. And again, it will bring Rachel Jackson, the Carson-Newman athletic trainer, out of the dugout. And Tom Griffin, the third base coach and head coach of the Eagles, comes over to talk with him as well. It is the second time Miller has been hit by a pitch in this game. He was also hit back in the 3rd. And so Miller still talking with his athletic trainer. I'm sorry, I believe the ruling now is that would be a foul ball, as the hands are an extension of the bat, so he's not hit by a pitch, but instead continues the at-bat. This time with an 0-2 count, as that technically goes down as a foul ball. That one will miss low for ball 1. I didn't see the foul ball ruling initially, but that's what it's called from the home plate umpire. A check swing on a ball inside. There is no appeal down to the first base umpire, and the count goes even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 delivery well outside, and it's ball 3. The sky is turned dark here, and our day that started with the first pitch of game 1 at 1:05 has extended into the dark. (3-2). This one's a swing and a miss on a drop third strike, and Miller will reach on a drop third. So it is the second strikeout for Braden Egan, but with Pusenleiter not able to receive it behind home plate, it is a drop third strike that Miller will be allowed to reach on, which sets up the opportunity for the extremely rare 4 strikeout inning. And it brings up Frankie Delgado, who's 0 for 4 on the season, still looking for his first pickoff back to first, trying to catch Miller off guard. Right as the PA announcer was finishing saying the name of Frankie Delgado, I think in Egan's mind it was when Miller least expected it. Another pickoff attempt, but Miller is back in. Still waiting on the first offering to Delgado from Egan, the first reliever out of the pen for either side today. He shows bunt and pulls back for ball 1. He relieves Chanson Cole, who has been a looming name for Carson-Newman heading into this series against Newberry. Chanson Cole was the name you read when you looked at Newberry's pitching staff. And it's a little intimidating when you read his stats and see how good of an ace he is, with those 15 strikeouts against Tusculum. Count moves to 2-1 to Frankie Delgado. Well, the Eagles only had 3 hits but did get 3 runs against Chanson Cole. Foul ball hooking out of play down the left field line for strike 2. And you look, and yeah, Cole got 8 strikeouts against Carson-Newman, but when he left the ball game, Carson-Newman had a lead at 3-2. 1-2 fouled off down the left field line into the Carson-Newman bullpen. And if the score holds, Carson-Newman would hand Chanson Cole his first loss of his collegiate career. Newberry will certainly have something to say about that in the bottom of the 7th. Another pickoff move, but Miller is back in safe. It will be the bottom of the batting order. Bandy, Busenlener, who have been defensive substitutions, and Mims due up for Newberry in the bottom of the 7th. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of pinch hitters roll that way as well. 1-2 is fouled off again by Delgado, and it keeps the at-bat alive. A ball and 2 strikes. Miller takes a lead off of first. It's a ball outside for Delgado. First pitch of our second game today was at 4:50, so we're coming up on 2 hours of our ball game here in the top of the 7th. And a long ball game for only 5 combined runs being scored. Another pickoff to first. Miller is in safely on the closest pickoff move of this sequence between Delgado at the plate and Miller at first. Egan looking for his 3rd strikeout of the inning. One such strikeout victim is at first. This time the pickoff move works. For the 2nd time this series, Newberry gets a successful pickoff. Got Cole Nathan yesterday, and now Trey Miller over at first in game 2, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. I would like to see the numbers and go back and count how many pickoff moves between both teams. It's not just like one has been picking off more than the other. Both teams have been picking off excessively. The ball comes inside, and it's a 2-2 count to Delgado. And again, to Newberry's credit, it's worked twice. Ball downstairs on a full count, and Frankie Delgado will reach. So Newberry gets rid of the threat of Trey Miller on the base paths and instead replaces him after getting an out with Frankie Delgado as he draws a walk. Just the 2nd walk surrendered by Newberry's staff in this game. Chanson Cole walked one. It's Braden Egan's 1st walk surrendered, and we're back to the top of the order with Ryan Jenkins. First pitch, a called strike inside. 2 strikeouts for Braden Egan gets Newberry up to 10 strikeouts on the day. 0-1, called a strike on the inside part. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Delgado takes a lead off of first, being held on by Gentry. The offer is grounded over towards Knuckles at second base. He throws on to first on a good throw. So a 4-3 ground out sends us to the 7th inning stretch. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base for Carson-Newman. Head to the bottom of the 7th. Final chance for Newberry to grab a tying or go-ahead run. Due up for Newberry is Bandy, Busenlener, and Mims when we return on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Colton Kaysen back out on the mound looking for a complete game and to hold Newberry to just 2 hits. Both of them came in the first inning. Standing in his way are Anthony Plotkin, Logan Busenlener, and Chandler Mims. But we'll have a pinch hitter before that, as it's number 15 in Rollins. Keeler Osmond. Keeler Osmond, a notable subtraction from the starting lineup. He did start in both previous games of this series, and now we'll get a pinch hit appearance here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch will miss for ball 1 from Kaysen. 1 run to tie, 2 to win for Newberry in the bottom of the 7th. Second pitch will miss for ball 2. The Newberry crowd starting to chirp a little harder to get into the head of Kaysen in his 7th inning of work. Third pitch of the at-bat is in the zone for a called strike. Newberry down to its final 3 outs as a ball will miss outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Base runners have been hard to come by for both teams. Newberry would certainly like a chance here in the bottom of the 7th. A swing and a miss will put the count full. One player we have not seen for Carson-Newman this series is Eli Norris, the de facto closer for the Eagles. He's in the pen should Kaysen get into some trouble. 3-2, swung on and missed. Strikeout number 4 for Colton Kaysen. It is the 3rd time the 7th part of the order has struck out. So Anthony Plotkin struck out twice in the 7th hole. Osmond comes up and catches the bug, strikes out as well, batting 7th in the order. Looks like we'll get another pinch hitter here as time is called. The pinch hitter for Newberry looking at his wrist guard and stepping into the batter's box will now be John Rawlings.
Now batting number 16, John Rawlings.
Rawlings earned the save in yesterday's game. He got a base hit, his first of the season, in game 1 of the doubleheader. So trying to avoid and spoil a Carson-Newman series win is the man who earned the save last night in John Rawlings. Rawlings batting 1,000 on the season. A called strike, and I'll have to check that. Rawlings got his first hit in the last game, so he's now batting 200 on the year, 1 for 5. The 0-1 ground ball to first, picked up by Floyd. It's a 3 unassisted, and Newberry is down to its final out. It's Chandler Mims due up for Newberry. And that will be who's coming to the plate. Newberry, playing at a cavernous park, has only had 1 home run all season. That came on the road at Barton in a 13-9 win on February 1st. Ball will miss downstairs, and it's a 1-0 count to Chandler Mims. Colton Kaysen looking for the complete game. The 1-0 delivery well outside, and it's a 2-0 count. Multitude of home runs have been hit by opponents here at the Smith Road Complex, but none by Newberry as of yet this year. 2-0, ball downstairs. It is now a 3-0 count, trying to get a base runner aboard for Bryson Knuckles, who's 1 for 2 and the team leader in batting average. He stands in the on-deck circle. 3 balls, no strikes. Kaysen sets and fires on ball 4, and the tying run is aboard for Newberry. Just the second walk surrendered by Kaysen today. 4th time through the batting order come up for Newberry. Bryson Knuckles steps into the batter's box, and we'll get a pinch runner as well over at first base. It appears to be KJ Leshko pinch running. So Leshko pinch running. Bryson Knuckles, the Newberry leader in batting average, is at the dish in the biggest spot of the series. My apologies, it's Hayes pinch running, the junior from Puyallup, Washington. Biggest at-bat of the series for Knuckles, needing to keep Newberry alive. First pitch is a called strike at the letters. An 0-1 count to Knuckles. Kaysen looking for the complete game victory. The 0-1 missing outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Eli Norris in the bullpen for Carson-Newman, should it come down to that, the closer for the Eagles. Game-winning run is at the plate. Tying run is at first. And a 3-2 lead for Carson-Newman. The pitch from Kaysen, it's hit in the air. Foul territory, but this one will escape the yard, getting out of play. And just like that, Newberry down to its final strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Carson Hayes, the pinch runner, aboard first base. Kaysen a strike away from the complete game victory. He'll pick off. Hayes gets back in safely with no tag applied. 1-2, Kaysen fires a ground ball foul up the third baseline, just barely caught a piece of it. So 1-2, Kaysen still a strike away. He fires again, it's inside. Delgado wants to appeal down. The first base umpire says no swing on a ball that was dangerously close to hitting Knuckles on the forearm. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, Newberry trailing by a run. Go-ahead run at the plate. Game-winning run at the plate. The 2-2 runner goes, swing and a miss, and Carson-Newman will take the victory 3-2, sweep today's doubleheader, and salvage the series after a loss yesterday. They win the series 2 out of 3 against Newberry on the road. For Newberry, now even in conference play at 3-3. On an excellent series for Newberry, the pitching was certainly a factor for the Wolves that'll take them into their next series, a midweek for Newberry coming up on Tuesday against Erskine, before heading on the road next weekend to take on the Limestone Saints on February 28th and March 1st. Carson-Newman back at home at 3 o'clock on Wednesday against Young Harris at the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex, before a Friday-Saturday series on February 28th and March 1st against Lincoln Memorial. Well, that'll do it for our coverage here, not only on Flow Sports, but on the Eagle Sports Network. I'm Tyler Katz one more time from the Smith Road Complex in Newberry, South Carolina. Your final score in Game 3, Carson-Newman 3, Newberry 2. Next production of the Eagle Sports Network will be on Wednesday for baseball against Young Harris. Until then, so long from Newberry.